Welcome all of you for the lecture Fertilizer Control Order FCO and Fertilizer Storage. In exercise of powers conferred by Section 3 of Essential Commodity Act in the year 1955, they enacted the order called Fertilizer Control Order in 1957. Afterwards, many different type of fertilizer came into the market, so that they have revised the order in the year 1985. Their main objective is to regulate the equitable distribution, ensuring quality and available at fair prices. These three are their main objective of the fertilizer control order. So what are the essential features of this order? So no manufacturer or dealer shall sell any fertilizer at price exceeding the maximum price. So this price is fixed by central government. For example, if it is urea, the urea should be supplied 250 per bag or 350 per bag. No one is allowed to sell the price exceeding that MRP price. And every manufacturer or dealer shall give a cash bill or memorandum to your purchases. So whenever you are purchasing, the seller should give the cash bill or memorandum to the purchase. Without that, they should not sell the product. No person shall carry on the business or selling of fertilizer or any place except under in accordance with the terms and conditions of the license. So you should get a license granted from the fertilizer control order. Otherwise, you cannot carry the fertilizer from one place to another place. It is not allowed. And the state government may appoint a member of person who is called fertilizer inspector. So his duty is he can come to the fertilizer shop and he can inspect the fertilizer condition and the MRP rate, and whether they are selling within the MRP rate price, or any bags is tampered, or any illegal selling is happened. Everything will be governed by the inspector. And no person shall export or attempt to export or any fertilizer from the state. So none of them have to entertain that process of exporting or attempt to export of any fertilizer from any state. And any inspector can come to the shop and see if it is not proper. They can seize the fertilizer, any fertilizer, respect with has been I believe that any provision of this order is being controversial, along with the packages or covering anything regarding the fertilizer. If he found it's not correct one, so he can seize the fertilizer bags. So every manufacturer of manure mixture and state fertilizer shall legibly mark on the containers. So there are fertilizer bags and organic products. So the fertilizer bag should contain the information legibly. So on the containers and manure mixture, the register number, which is very important, and the brand name of the manure mixture, everything should be there. And the total nutrient content in the fertilizer bag, for example, what is the amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and water soluble, and potassium, they have to denoted by in the letters like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Phosphorus means pt means total phosphorus. S means soluble phosphorus, how much percentage of water soluble, citrate soluble, that those things has to be mentioned. And the register name of the firm and the trademark should be present in the fertilizer bag or any manure mixture bag. The crop or crop for which the manure can be suitable. So if the manure is suitable for all the crops, it must be mentioned all crops. If it is suitable for particular crop, for example cotton, and the manure is suitable for cotton, so these things has to be indicated in the fertilizer bag. On the containers of straight fertilizer, there should be some information: name of the manufacturer, trademark, name of the fertilizer, percentage by weight of NPK, gross and net content by weight in kilogram. So these information must be there in the straight fertilizer bag. So as per this order, dealer may retain any time one bag or containers each variety of fertilizer in open and unsealed condition for seeing the purchaser. So the purchaser can come and see. So this is urea, this is single super phosphate, this is MOP. So that by seeing that whether it is in good quality or condition is good, there is no lumps. So these details he can see by seeing the fertilizer directly. For that purpose, the seller can keep one bag open in his fertilizer shop. Other bag should not be open. So other bag should be in a closed condition. And every container shall be sealed, that content thereof cannot be tampered with or without breaking the seal. The seal should not be break. So and you, when you are purchasing the bag, you should ensure the bag is not tampered or bag is not opened. Okay, so that things you have to see. And for the fertilizers manufactured in India, the packed bags stitched in hand shall be bear lead seal. The older system, this is lead seal must be there, and it should be hand stitched properly. But nowadays everything is machine stitching, so properly they are doing everything. And the fertilizer inspector can draw samples of fertilizer for analysis anytime. Okay, and send them to fertilizer laboratory if there is any dispute in the fertilizers. So he can draw the fertilizer from the fertilizer bag, and he can send to the fertilizer analytical laboratory, and he can get the analytical report. And there are 4 schedules in the fertilizers control order. Schedule 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in schedule 1, there are 2 parts. One is part A and part B. The first part is specification of fertilizer, and second part tolerant limit. Specification nothing but about the fertilizer, type of fertilizer, everything. And second part is tolerance limit, what is the nutrient content, and while packing, and what is the physical parameter of the fertilizer. Those details will be present um, in a elaborate manner. And in schedule 2, here also 2 parts. One is procedure for drawal of fertilizer samples, how to draw the take the fertilizer samples for analysis. Second part is telling that methods of analysis, how to analyze the fertilizers with the suitable methods, like for urea, SSP, MOP, how to determine the nutrient content based on the suitable methods. And schedule 3, this is mainly for biofertilizer. There are 4 parts. On a part A is specification of biofertilizer, that we have seen here in schedule 1. And part B, tolerance limit, the same thing. And part C, procedure for dry of fertilizer in schedule 2 part A. And methods of analysis of biofertilizer is schedule 2 part B. So all schedule 1 and schedule 2 parts is integrated here and given as schedule 3, but this is exclusively for biofertilizers. And schedule 4, the all same combination for organic fertilizer samples. And in the fertilizer control order, there is a forms of registration where you can get the license granting certificate, means how to fill the license, everything will be there. And appendix, important notification order about the fertilizer control order will be present as appendix at the end of the book. So tolerance limit, we have seen the tolerance limit. What is exactly tolerance limit? Means their physical properties, how it is looks, and definite compounds, like for example ammonium sulfate, urea, SSP, and potash. So their tolerant limit, their nutrient content may differ up to 0.2 unit only if the nutrient content is more than 20%. For example, urea containing 46% of nitrogen, which is more than 20%, so that their variation may be 0.2 unit, either 45.8 or 46.2. Up to this it can be. When it is exceeds the it is not good for the permissible limit analysis. and 0.1 unit for nutrient content if below 20%. Below 20%. For example, single superphosphate has 16% of phosphorus, so that it can vary 0.1 unit, like 15.9 or 16.1. This is the tolerance limit. And calcium ammonium nitrate can be 0.3 unit different. Calcium ammonium nitrate and diammonium phosphate, ammonium sulfate nitrate mixture, and complex fertilizer, they can vary up to 0.5 units. Specifications of fertilizer, urea, you can see here the moisture percentage by weight should be 1%. Maximum is 1%. And total nitrogen percent by weight or dry basis 46%. You know. Then biuret content. Biuret content should not exceed more than 1.5%. And the particle size, when you are receiving the size of receiving the urea fertilizer, it should not less than 90% of the material shall pass 2.8 mm sieve, and not less than 80% by weight shall be retained on 1 mm sieve. So this is the criteria should be there. This is the important specification should be there in urea bag. Similarly, for superphosphate, you can see a moisture percentage can be up to 12%. Free phosphoric acid percentage is 4, and water soluble phosphorus is 16, and sulfur content and calcium content, the every content other nutrient present in the fertilizer must be given in the fertilizer bag. Likewise, potassium chloride, their moisture percentage, water soluble, and sodium chloride percentage, particle size, how much percentage of fertilizer will pass through the sieves. Okay, those things should be very clear in the specification part of the fertilizer. And coming to fertilizer storage, it is very important part, how to store the fertilizers. So fertilizer chemically reactive inputs, so it can react with the uh, atmospheric condition, like rainfall or any humidity. So other factors also influencing the nutrient content in the fertilizers, so that careful storage to maintain their physical and chemical integrity. It is very important. Physical and chemical integrity should be maintained, so that the storage should be very careful. And improper storage lead to nutrient loss, like ammonia volatilization from urea. It is very important process. So when the temperature increases, the ammonia is dissoluting due to various factors. The ammonia will get lost from the fertilizer, so that nutrient losses will happen. So for here they have given an example, like urea stored in open humid condition forms lumps and loss nitrogen efficiency. So yeah, definitely you will get the nutrient loss from the urea fertilizer. And objective of fertilizer storage, different objective. One is preserve nutrient content, prevent physical deterioration, ensure safe handling. So the preserve nutrient content, the fertilizer quality throughout the storage period should be maintained. Okay, that's why we are telling storing should be very proper. The fertilizer should not contact with any of the factors, atmospheric factors, and prevent physical deterioration such as caking, lumping, and segregation. So these and all will be happen when unfavorable condition is happening in the storage room, so that we have to avoid that, and ensure safe handling and minimize the fire explosion risks. For example, ammonium nitrate is there. Ammonium nitrate is mainly used for explosive purpose. So we need to keep a proper storage place for ammonium nitrate to prevent hazardous reactions. And general principles of storage, you can see here. Store fertilizer in a cool, dry, and well ventilated environment to prevent moisture absorption, and avoid exposure to direct sunlight. Always you will be keeping under the roof, so that direct sunlight is not possible. And but you have to maintain the temperature. If temperature increase, that is also another factor which will influence the fertilizer property. And maintain clear labeling to avoid mixing of fertilizer. Sometimes the fertilizer bags may not have proper labeling, and sometimes it may be deteriorated or erased from the bags, so that there will be a confusion of fertilizer bags. So to avoid that, clear labeling should be done after shaking the fertilizer. And the moisture controls. Many fertilizer are hygroscopic in nature, so they are absorbing atmospheric moisture, so that it will leads to caking. So the caking will form hard lumps, and it is very difficult to apply. Means if the particle is very free flow, you can easily apply to the crops. But if it is cake, you need another manpower to break all the lumps or cakings, everything. So for that, if the caking is occurred or become a cake one, so the wooden pallet should be used to break. You should not break the fertilizer directly on the plastic sheets. You have to cover. Then you using a wooden pallets, you can break the lumps or clots. Example, urea bags placed directly in the non-cemented floor, they can absorb moisture, then it will become a caking one. And storage structure, it be stored in well constructed warehouse with leak proof roofs. So you have to ensure the roofs is leak proof. Okay, so it should be cemented and slightly elevated. That floor should be cemented, and elevation should be a little bit, you can construct like a slopey one, so that you can avoid the entry of water inside this storing area. And provide proper ventilation. You have to ensure that there is a proper ventilation through windows and any other openings. So nowadays the modern warehouses use ridge ventilation to reduce condensation. So ridge ventilation on the top of the roof, there will be a opening, so that ventilation is very useful for maintaining the temperature inside. And staking and arrangement, stake the fertilizer back in a crisscross manner to pattern improve the stability, otherwise it may fall anytime. And maintain stack height, generally not exceeding 15 to 20 bags to prevent compression, otherwise the compression will can happen. This will make a caking of fertilizer. So you can keep 15 to 20 bags, that is the optimum one. And leave space between stakes, one stake to another stake, one rack to another rack, you can leave space, so that you can usually move here and there to inspect the fertilizer bag. And follow FIFO, first in first out, to avoid prolonged storage. The bag which is comes in first, that should go out first. Okay, so this is FIFO, first in first order. uh, so this is the way you have to stake the fertilizer bag in a crisscross manner, and every stack you have to give a space for proper movement of for inspecting the fertilizer bag. And also you can see the bag height, means 15 to 20 bags only you can keep, otherwise it will get collapsed. And the safety measures, stored fertilizer away from flammable substances, diesel, pesticide, or any straw material. You should not keep near the fertilizer bag. If anything become a flammable, or a fire is happened, the fertilizer bag and all will get ruined. And avoid mixing incompatible fertilizer. Some fertilizer are having incompatibility to mix with other fertilizer. So like ammonium nitrate with organic material, you should not keep it together. So you have to avoid keeping in your single rack. And use personal protective equipments. Always use the gloves, mask, goggles, everything to protect yourself from the hazardous material. And storage of specific fertilizers like urea is highly hygroscopic in nature, so store in airtight containers, means the moisture should not affect the fertilizer bags. And ammonium sulfate, they are less hygroscopic, but it becomes cake under humid condition. So always the floor should be um, cemented, and above that you should use the wooden racks. Okay, so that you can avoid the direct absorption of moisture from the cement floor. And DAP and SSP, diammonium phosphate, single superphosphate, they are sensitive to moisture, they may become very hard like a cake formation due to free acid content, because they have some acids. The acids are freely mobile in the fertilizer when it is react with some other moisture content. And MOP also become a stable. This is a stable fertilizer, but may absorb slight moisture to form lumps. So you have to avoid the moisture contact with the fertilizer bag. It is very important during storage of this kind of a specific fertilizer like urea, ammonium sulfate, DAP, SSP, and MOP. Liquid fertilizer storage, it is another important part. It should be stored in a corrosion resistant tank, either plastic or coated steel material you can use for storing the fertilizer, and avoid exposure to sunlight. So when the heat is directly affecting the liquid storage, it may get more pressure inside the container, so that anything may happen. And ensure proper sealing to prevent leakage and contamination. Sometimes the plastic or coated steel material may get leaked because of the liquid fertilizer stored in the container. So frequently you have to check the proper sealing, is there or any leakage to prevent other contaminations. There are some common problem in storage like caking and lump formation. Already we have seen due to moisture absorption. So we have to prevent the moisture contact with the fertilizer bag, and nutrient loss through volatilization. Example, the nitrogen loss may happen in especially in nitrogenous fertilizers such as urea. So you have to avoid, and bad bag damages due to poor handling or some other pest in the storing room. So you have to avoid. So that's why the frequent observation you have to inspection you have to make, whether there is any opening of fertilizer or any tampering of fertilizer bag. So that thing you have to see every day. And preventive measures like use moisture proof and laminated packaging material. The fertilizer bag should be, the cover should be moisture proof and laminated packing material, or else in the storing house itself you can keep some moisture proof or any laminated material to cover the fertilizer bag, and conduct a regular inspection. It is very important in the fertilizer storage room. Always you have to watch for the damage or any deterioration of fertilizer in the bags, and maintain proper ventilation and humidity control. You should check the humidity percentage also in the atmosphere. So based on that you can control the humidity, and using tarpaulin sheets during rainy season to avoid the direct contact of water to the fertilizer. So it may prevent the deterioration of fertilizer. Thank you for attending the class. Thank you.